I want to share a really fun grounding technique because if you're not grounded, it's really hard to manifest. It's really hard to bring, oh my God, there's a bug on my leg. Why do I keep filming with dresses and bugs keep biting me? It's really hard to bring things into fruition when you're not grounded in the now, when you're too focused on the past or when you're too focused on the future. And this technique is my go-to way of detaching myself from the results so they effortlessly attract to me. I want you to spot the beauty in the mundane things and the everyday task and nature and the most basic of things that people don't normally see beauty in, people don't normally appreciate. As humans, we always want more. Even if you were to get your manifestation tomorrow, you're gonna have a new goal. So it's important to really bask in what you're grateful for now. Turn the littlest things into luxury, and that will attract luxury into your life because you are vibrating the vibration of luxury through the mundane, attracting what you are. You're feeling the luxury of just simply having a backyard, through feeling the luxury of having a nice coffee in the morning, appreciating the sun and that we have that to warm us, appreciating the moon to cool us down at night, appreciating the butterflies that we spot in the trees, the bees that pollinate and gives us honey. The other day I actually saw a family of deer in my backyard, and I've been joking with my sister saying that it's a silver giant because I'll go outside to pray and I'll hear footsteps really fast in the dark woods. So I'm like, perhaps it's Bigfoot. And every time I hear it, I'm just like, the silver giant's coming to get us, or we'll call it skinwalkers, because I'm into that mythical smithical. And turns out it was just a family of deer, or so that's what they want me to think. And the family walked away and one baby deer just stayed and stared at me, and I waved it goodbye. And it's like those little things you can't get anywhere else. What are the little things in your life that other people would die to have? Really bask in the beauty of that. Those things could be taken as soon as tomorrow. It's usually only when you lose something that you realize how much it was important, how much it was a luxury. So enjoy that luxury now. Don't need the revoking of the thing for you to understand how much value it has, how much value a simple Keurig has to make a quick coffee, how much family makes a huge difference in your life, even if it's not blood, the family that we choose, the friends and family that are in our life, even if we don't get to connect with them every day, to have someone to connect with is a privilege. All of us are privileged in some way. Use that privilege, appreciate that privilege, and that's how you attract more privileges.
I have a journal prompt for you with this video. What are 7 beautiful things in your life? Write this down. If you don't want to write it down, do an audio recording. Say it out loud.
When I first moved from Connecticut to North Carolina, I was just focused on what I lost. All the furniture that's in storage, all my nice antique stuff that I can't get anywhere else, just dusting away in a storage unit. All the books that I couldn't bring. I had to leave a lot of other things, a lot of clothes. I honestly don't even remember what I have. So it's gonna be like a whole unboxing, like Christmas moment when I get a new space. But it's through really appreciating what I have now that is helping me to manifest more. It's once I paused and I started appreciating and working with what I do have that I am manifesting super quickly. The things that you would think would take a lot of work, but when you really just sit in the moment and trust in the process, you'd be surprised at what you can just attract without even trying. We're women. We don't have to chase and work every day to get what we want. We have a divine connection with the universe to where it works with us if we appreciate it for what it is, if we appreciate the gifts that it's bestowed upon us instead of focusing on what more you want, what you lost, what you could be, what you should be. What are you now, and what are you making of it? What are you doing with your talents right now? What are you doing with your passions right now? What are you doing with your time right now? What are you doing with your beauty right now? How are you choosing to live in the now? Instead of sitting around and feeling bad about yourself, comparing yourself to other women online, focus on what you can do with what you have. And I promise you, it'll make you 3 times happier, which also helps you to manifest faster. Of course, there's other ways that you can ground yourself, but this is just one way that I really enjoy grounding myself, seeing the beauty in everything, because through doing that, you realize just how blessed you are. Yes, we all have our disadvantages, we all have our demons that need to be slayed, but overall, there are always pros to the cons that you're in. You just gotta look for them. Do me a favor and share this video to someone who needs it, someone who may need some help seeing the beauty in the mundane to manifest even more beauty. I'll see you in the next video.
Before I end this video, I want to pull a card for you with a message to help encourage you to embody your best self this summer. And it doesn't have to be summer when you're finding this. We all have individual seasons alongside the 4 seasons of the year. If you're resonating with this video, this card reading has a message for you. This is also my first online oracle reading because I was a bit hesitant to share my spiritual and intuitive gifts because people often shame the unknown and like to label groups of people as one singular thing when we're all multidimensional. There's good and bad in everything, and there are good and bad apples in every bunch. I also don't like to tussle with people who don't critically think and are offended by people who have different truths than them and are unable to conceptualize other truths than the truths that they're living, other realities than the reality they're living in, other experiences than the experience that they're having. People who don't have an open heart and open mind to the different walks of humanity. You don't have to have hatred in your heart for those who choose a different path in life, unless they're harming others. Unless you're reading multiple books, not just one, on a matter, your presumptions of it are based off of he say, she say, instead of actual facts. To me, fear is the root of all evil. It controls so many people in so many ways, and I'm done letting it control me. I'm gonna have you pick a card, pick the emoji you feel most aligned with, whatever card you intuitively feel like picking up, what emoji you're feeling called to pick, and with each card, I'm gonna interpret a message for you that's meant for you to hear. If you feel drawn to multiple cards, you can have multiple messages within this reading. For each card, there's a timestamp pinned at the top of the comments for you. Now let's get into it.
Okay. So if you pick pile number 1, you've got continuance. Pile 2 is tranquility, and pile 3 is ritual, but it's backwards. I feel like you need to continue what you're doing to get the results that you want. Sometimes you have to go back to the basics, even if it seems like been there, done that. If it worked, if it breeded results, that may be just the thing that you should be doing. Having more structure gives you the space to step more into your feminine energy. Through having masculine structures in my business, I'm not pulling my hair out every day. Only like maybe once a week. Continue doing the basics that give you results. There are so many strategies. There are so many techniques. Go back to the basics. Even if you're not getting those results, just because you're not seeing those results doesn't mean those results aren't on their way. I've been doing YouTube for 7 years and I could have easily quit. The best things take time. Continue moving forward and you will get the results you want in divine timing. Okay, pile number 2. Tranquility is a state of being calm. I want you to dive more into what calms you, what nurtures you, because you need that in order to be your most productive self. In order to step in and be your best self, you need to prioritize your tranquility. Doing the everyday little things that make you feel like luxury, because through feeling like luxury, you attract that. Like I mentioned earlier, there's always going to be something that you personally need to work on. But first, work on yourself. Work on what you need to feel whole, so you can put your whole foot in it with what you're trying to create in life and who you're trying to be. I just saw a bee, ironically, as I'm saying this. So I'm going to take that as like confirmation. Like, you really need to pour into you, Scooby-Doo, if you want to be true. Because if your cup is half full, you can only give half of yourself to things, to projects, to your job, to the people that you love. You want your whole self to be there, and that requires whole nurturing. Nurturing yourself fully. Nurture yourself more. It's not woo-woo. It's not silly. It really does so much for so little. Something as simple as having a nice cup of coffee in the morning to start your day instead of frantically jumping up and going straight to work makes a huge difference. What differences can you start making? For pile 3, I got ritual backwards. So what I'm getting from this card is you're not taking your routine seriously. You're going with the flow of things, and sometimes that's necessary in order to find exactly what you're looking for. Rituals are like, to me, routines. They're sacred routines, and it makes routines more magical and fun. Like morning ritual, night ritual, like Sunday ritual, Monday ritual. Although it may be beneficial to go with the flow, definitely don't forget the power of having a sacred time to do something. If there's something that you've been meaning to get to, if you've been meaning to start a YouTube channel, you've been meaning to take TikTok more seriously, you've been meaning to level up and go to the gym, start cooking, whatever you've been meaning to do, you need to create a ritual around it, a routine around it, a sacred time at a specific day of the week to do every single week. And even if it's not like what everyone pushes you need to do, like you need to be hyper consistent, just simply doing something once a week breeds more results than trying to put too much into it and exhaust yourself out. It's good to go with the flow, but definitely create rituals around the things that you're slacking with. Look at the bee.